Today's topic of discussion is how to get multiple women. Now, pretty much majority of the guys today are in a scarcity mindset. They have a lack of options and they pretty much are getting no women, or if they speak to like one or two women, barely, and they're not able to really get multiple women and have the options that they want. So today we're going to be discussing how to effectively get multiple women and how to get them to not only comply and submit, but to be able to, you'll be able to choose from the best quality women. So first point is women are attracted to internal strength. Now, contrary to popular belief, a lot of guys on social media are thinking that it's money, status, and looks and all these kind of things there are what attracts women. Now, those are basic level attraction triggers. However, to get women to comply and get them to submit and get them to really fall in love with you, they are attracted to principles and boundaries and raw masculinity. Now, internal strength is something which pretty much all guys are lacking. Guys who haven't had a lot of pain and a lot of suffering and who have, had really comfortable lives and they haven't really gone out and about and actually experienced real life, they're going to be lacking a lot of internal strength. So the internal strength is going to be coming from the pain and the suffering and from the lessons you've learned from that, and then constantly working on your God-given purpose. So you're getting the strength from God, you're getting the strength from overcoming adversities and a lot of trials and tribulations. And that way there you'll be able to get the internal strength to be able to attract not only multiple women, to be able to attract other people in general as well in life. So that's really important. Next point is, this links back to character. So character is solidified and it's established. Now, a lot of women are going to be constantly giving you the interest test. So the interest test, I'm going to be discussing that in another video, but the interest tests are constantly to test your character. So I'll give you an example. If you say to a woman that, you like oranges, and she turns around and says, oranges are not really that good, and then you say to her in response, you know what, I don't really like oranges either. You failed that interest test, and that's a weakness in your character. You get swayed by a woman's opinion. So if you like oranges, and then you tell that to a woman, and then if she says another thing, if you're retracting your statement and you're saying, you know what, I don't like oranges now, it just shows you're just a beta male who's weak in his character. A guy who's solidified in his character, he states what he wants and then he's not backtracking from that. So that's really important. So you need to solidify your character and who you are as a man. Next point is no contact. Now this one here is quite interesting, where a lot of women will constantly test you. So for a woman to really fall in love with who you are as a man, there's going to be some point in time where she applies a pullback. So it's one of the manipulation tactics, which you could see as manipulation, or it's effectively to test your internal strength. It's to test whether or not you can live without her. Now, a lot of guys, what they'll do is they'll end up chasing and they'll end up pursuing even more. So anytime a woman starts to pull back, and I sense it, because I've got like a lot of experience with women, I see how she's starting to give me delayed responses. If she ain't responding within like a minute or 2 minutes or 5 minutes, I straight away know this girl here, is trying to do a pullback. So she's trying to not give a response within a day, or at most a day or 24 hours. So if she's not trying to give a response within, then she's trying to test my internal strength. So then guess what happens? So I'll either check that behavior and I'll say to her, look, I'm gonna have to stop speaking to you and I'm gonna have to speak to other women now, which I'm already doing anyway. I'll speak to other women, but it's gonna be a point where I'll apply the no to contact with her if she's deliberately being disrespectful. So that's a test right there. So what I'll do is I'll apply the no contact with her. I'll stop speaking to her week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even like a month on. So certain girls, I've got girls who I was speaking to like several months ago, and then they're still constantly trying to check my stories, constantly checking to see if I can message them. But then it gets to the point where I've already fully just cut them off. So you want to apply the no contact with any women who start showing you any type of disrespectful behavior. I'm going to be discussing that more in another video as well. So the no contact. Next point is purpose. You need to be working on your purpose. Now, women will test you to see if you're working on your purpose, or she will test you to try and take you away from your purpose. Now, guys, beta males, what they'll do is they'll end up moving away from their God-given purpose, and they'll get swayed by a woman's, beauty and what she says, and she'll try and pull him away. And then the guys who end up getting pulled away from their purpose, they've now failed. So the woman eventually exits from the relationship, because that man there is putting her and her future children at risk and in jeopardy. That's that point. Next point is filtering women. Now, women are attracted to men who have an abundance of options. Guys who, especially guys nowadays, pretty much more than 90% of guys nowadays, they're not able to generate options. They don't have the mindset of the ultimate abundance mindset to get multiple women. So a woman will test you. She'll say, "Oh yeah, are you speaking to other women?" A lot of these beta males, what they'll do is they'll say, "Oh yeah, I'm not speaking to other women," and they aren't anyway. So they aren't. But as soon as they come across a guy who is speaking to multiple women, who's got a bunch of options, her desire increases. It goes up, because she knows this guy here is of value, because other women clearly want him. So then he's someone of value. So I'm constantly always filtering women. I've filtered from it's numerous women. It's between, I would say, at least 500 to 1,000 over the several years. And I've had women work for me and all these kind of things. It's because I'm always constantly filtering women, and I'm constantly looking for the best possible options. And then, so with those options there, I'll filter them once, and then they'll end up not fulfilling my criteria, and then I just end up, moving on and speak to other women. So I've got the ultimate abundance mindset there, and guys need to really develop this in order to get the best quality women that they can choose from. Next point is years of experience. Now, you need to be somebody who's really had a lot of experience with speaking to women and to apply all of these other things here. So the filtering women, constantly working on your purpose, applying the no contact, and then it will get to the point where you've developed years of experience that you're able to talk to 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 women, and then filter those women. And if those women are of quality and of value, then you can look to speak to them for further marriage purposes. But if they're not of value and they're not fulfilling basic criteria, so one of them's basic criteria can be like, for example, if a woman doesn't wear hijab. So if she's not wearing hijab and she's not wearing modest clothing, she's not at the stage where she is prioritizing her deen. So if a man is of value and he's constantly improving, so mentally, physically, emotionally and spiritually, if he's at a certain level, he's not going to go right down to a level where a woman is not at that level where she prioritizes her deen. So that makes sense where I'm coming from, guys. So that's what it is. So with years of experience. Next point is, this one's a good one here. Indifference towards beauty. Now, women are going to constantly test you by sending you photos of themselves. They're going to want to try and lure you in. They're going to try and use their beauty. They'll put makeup on, all these kind of things there, to constantly try and get you to fall in love with what they look like. Now, as soon as you do not show indifference and you get swayed by a woman's looks and her beauty, that's straight away lowering her desire, because she knows that I've got power over this guy. As soon as she comes across a guy who her beauty and her looks do not sway that man, and she has no power over him, and other women will not have power over that guy in terms of the looks, that woman there becomes really, really attracted, and she starts to really fall in love with that guy, because she knows this guy here is at the level where he can get a woman of her beauty standard and higher. Does that make sense where I'm coming from, guys? Next point is masculinity. Now, women are attracted to, going back to the original point, internal strength. Women are attracted to raw masculinity. Now, masculinity is somebody who improves mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. He needs to excel in all 4 arenas. Now, a guy who's not excelling in all 4 arenas and he's not constantly improving himself, she's not going to be as attracted to that individual. A woman is attracted to principles and boundaries, and she's attracted to a man who doesn't get swayed by emotions. Women, by nature, their emotions are fluctuating up and down all the time. So they need a man who is like a steady rock, and he's firm in his beliefs and his core values and beliefs. And he doesn't get swayed by external factors. So that's really important. And that's what it is. So we're going back to it. So those are pretty much all the points that need to be covered in order to get multiple women. So I'll see you guys in the next video.